Everybody take your right hand, and put your pinky up. And then I want you to pinky promise to your partner that I promise to have fun with you from this day forward.
Promise to have fun.
I promise to have fun
from
with
this
you
day forward.
this day forward. When I first saw her, in all honesty, I actually thought she was married when I first saw her. And I remember going through my mind saying that, wow, somebody has a beautiful wife. That's what I remember saying in my mind. Because she used to wear this purity ring, but I think she used to wear it on her wedding finger. And I had a purity ring also, but I used to wear it on the right hand, which was the proper hand.
Goes to jazz.
But nonetheless, when I saw her, I said, somebody has a beautiful wife, and little did I know that I was talking about my own wife.
Not everyone has a giggly, goofy personalities like we do. We just happen to land in each other's life that way. So it takes effort.
Yep.
It takes effort to loosen up. It takes effort to lining up the mood.
Yep.
So it's not something, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say.
So we kind of came up with three things in terms of how do we actually play with each other? How do we actually have fun? And the first one is that you have to make it a priority. That's the first thing in terms of having fun in your relationship, is to make it a priority. A family that plays together also stays together. And so that's where you learn that, you know what, making fun a priority in our marriage, in our life, is going to be critical for the success of the marriage.
Sometimes, or a lot of times, fun has to be spontaneous, okay? Because otherwise, it slips under you. If you don't allow for those spontaneity, I can't say that word.
Spontaneity.
Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for.
She's Hispanic. She would tear some words up on you. Just FYI, okay? Yeah.
So you have to allow for that to be in your everydays, or when it pops up, to allow your brain to go there. I personally can struggle with these, well, later now. Now that I've become a professional, so I'm a mechanical engineer and my work is busy and I'm always caught up with work and my calendar is full of meetings. I have found it more difficult as I grow older to allow those moments of spontaneity.
Spontaneous moments.
There you go.
Yeah.
But he's so good at it that I can rely on him to take me there. So that's another thing that you can do. If as couples, if you struggle with it, and your spouse is better at it, then allow it. Because I've noticed a lot of times we can get so caught up in what's going on internally that we don't allow for the moment to occur.
There are certain things on your calendar that comes from work that you are definitely going to attend. You won't miss certain meetings at work. You won't miss certain deadlines at work. And most of the time, it's on your calendar. If it's on your calendar, that means that you are paying attention to it. That means that you are giving it attention. That means that you are giving it time. You're giving it energy. You're giving it effort. It goes the same way for fun, laughter, and playing in your marriage. It's the exact same thing. Guess what? If it's not on your calendar, it's not getting attention. You don't want to just wait for fun to happen. You don't want to just sit around and just hope that fun happens, or sit around and hope that we will have a good time. If it's not intentional, if you're not making it a priority, then newsflash, guess what? It won't happen. 5 minutes of fun and laughter with each other is better than 5 hours of anything else.
Another point I want to share is we also use fun as a tool to help us through tough times. And all marriages have tough times, whether they're financially or having to make tough decisions on your children's life or amongst each other. You know, I always see eye to eye with him. I never disagree. But one thing that we have found that has really helped us is to bring fun into tough conversations, right? So, for example, there's times when our financials get real tight, right? So he has a saying, because I'd be like, babe, something else broke. He's like, just keep adding it to the tab, add it to the tab, he tells me. And that way, even though it's annoying when it gets to that point where we cannot spend a little extra, it lightens up the mood of like, you know what, you're right, let's just add it to the tab. When we can get it there, we get it there, right? And so it allows also for tough discussions to have take place, or even to dig deep, right, on topics that are difficult to have.
Here's what you can focus on. You have two choices. You can focus on the problem, or you can focus on the promise. That's a choice that we all have to make every single day. And every time she tells me that, hey, we need money for X or something else broke, and I had to choose to focus on the promise. I'm promising to have fun, to have laughter, to make this lighthearted, and not get so caught up on the problems. Because guess what? The problems will never leave. They will always exist. They will always pop up. And so I have to choose to focus on the promise. And that's how we came up with this thing. It's like, well, just add it to the list. And that list is probably 34 strong. It's probably 34 items strong on the list, you know? and guess what? It's gonna keep on growing. It'll probably be 45 by the time we leave here. but that's okay. You know, it's still, make it a promise to have fun with your spouse, with your life partner. Make it a promise to have fun.
Don't get me wrong. We take our financials very seriously. We take raising our children very seriously. We take our faith very seriously. We hold each other accountable, and we're very direct with each other. So, because I know there is a fine line with joking all the time and playing all the time to then also taking life seriously. So that's also important, that you can balance the two. But when you master that, it becomes a great and a beautiful environment, because, and I see him do these very well with our kids, right? Where he can go in full roller coaster mode and switch it, and the kids are like, oh, we're done playing, and this is serious, and they can adjust without. I don't do that well of a job, but he does a really good job at balancing the two. So that's also important. I wanted to make sure that we're highlighting fun here in this conversation, because it's easily forgotten. Yep. And you can usually put it in the back burner, and it just makes the difficult and the heavy and the life a lot lighter.
Yep. If you're not having fun now, it's going to be extremely difficult to have fun later. It's going to be hard, because a lot of times we think we can put fun on the back burner and we can just flip a switch and all of a sudden, oh, we're going to have fun now. If you hadn't had fun in 18 years, it's going to be hard to have fun in year 19. It's going to be difficult. And so that's why you want to make it a promise. You make it a priority. You make it a promise to implement it now, to where later it just becomes normal, and you're just flowing and growing through life by having fun with each other.
Your spouse is the only family relative that is not blood related to you. You don't have that bloodline. So to me, you need to then cater, or what's the word I'm looking for? Nourish and take care of that relationship even more, because you don't have that bloodline. You don't have that unspoken tie.
You don't even have the history,
right,
with that person. You know, it's not like we grew up together.
Right.
I met you when I was a grown adult, doing my own thing. You know, you were doing your own thing, and we crossed paths. None blood related, as you mentioned.
But then the other aspect of that I really like, and we talk about this all the time, is that your spouse is also the person that knows you the most.
You got to practice having fun in your relationship. You got to practice enjoying one another. You got to practice liking one another. That stuff takes practice. We can't just wake up and wing it and hope that, oh man, I hope today goes well. No, did you practice? Did you put it into practice? And so you want to practice loving each other, practice liking each other, practice enjoying one another, practice having fun, practice laughing together. You know, there's an art in learning how to laugh together. You know, you want to unify the laugh, you know, to where it sounds a certain way, to where when we laugh, other people laugh, you know, and so, but that stuff takes practice though. And if we're not practicing, then guess what? We're not having fun as well.
Thank you also for having us and trusting us in your conference. We have
Absolutely, yes.
enjoy you all very, very much. I pray that God grows this space and you do it over and over again. And there are more butts to cover the seats, and you guys are a blessing to many, many. So thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate y'all so much. Number 1, make it a priority. Number 2, make it a promise. And number 3, make it a practice. Have fun and enjoy one another. Thank you all.